they were testing it. I think when it first went up, it was still called GOES-R at the time, and the imagery that came out of that was just like incredible. The spatial resolution and the temporal resolution. It
Yeah.
was like watching a video of weather. So
You
I was
saw this on the
curious.
GOES geospatial satellite
Yeah.
this fall? Meteorite fall?
Mark can answer that.
Oh, was this one? No, this one is not in that data set just because the satellite went up after this fall.
Mm.
Barely.
What were you saying you saw, Rennie?
Oh, just when the first images of it, the weather, the spatial and temporal resolution of just weather patterns from some of the GOES imagery sensors was incredible. Still is.
Yeah.
I got excited for a second. I thought there was something stuck to that, but it's just
like, we got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Ship it.
It wasn't as heavy as we thought.
Yeah, the GOES, the GLM, the lightning mapper data is just gorgeous. You can watch storms rolling across across the field of view just by all the lightning they generate. And it's got a viewing area that covers pretty much all of North America and South America, most of it.
Yeah, that was interesting during the wildfires recently also, just looking at how the smoke was tracking across California and Oregon where I was this past 2 weeks.
I think there's an Instagram account called NOAA Satellites, and it has some very nice images.
Huh.
Once again, they're becoming too powerful.
Well, they made this thing for watching lightning, and it turns out other things that flash in the sky include large meteorites. And they have observed several meteorite falls with the GLM data. They saw one over Cuba. Just last time. Can lost track of time on that one. What else? They saw not long after it was commissioned and running. They saw an apparent meteorite fall over the Atlantic Ocean that otherwise we had no idea occurred.
Wow.
And all the data is online. It's become kind of a go-to data set for all the people out there who look for meteorites, of which there's quite a few who look for meteorite falls. NASA actually has a web page running now where they identify and classify meteorite falls just from the GLM data. The geostationary lightning mapper. I'm pretty sure I have that right.
So a page on NASA that lists all meteorite falls known?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I actually have seen that page.
Yeah, there's one that shows all the ones that show up in the lightning mapper data. There's another one out of JPL that shows all the ones in the DoD data set. So the DoD operates satellites looking for large explosions for nuclear test ban free purposes. And again, another thing that makes large explosions in the atmosphere is meteorite falls. And so there's a database online there for that basically when they spot a meteorite fall with those satellites, it shows up. It's publicly released as well. So the number of sensors out there, radar, camera, webcams, these new doorbell cameras on people's houses that turn out to be really good at spotting large meteorites or large meteorite falls. There's as the amount of data becomes out there increases, the frequency with which we spot meteorite falls improves. Frequency, and we see them more often, have better data to show exactly where they landed. There's the American Meteor Society keeps a web page that compiles eyewitness reports as well, and they're great. They're a nonprofit that has this website. Again, anyone can go there and report, file a report with them that they, we saw this. I saw the sky explode. I saw this great big fireball, and it automatically compiles it into individual events with a little Google Earth map showing where the fireball occurred. This event that we're looking at now shows up in the AMS, American Meteor Society's online database.
It's like a whole world now being exposed to.
Yeah.
I love it when space science and ocean science collide. It's really great. Happens a lot.
Well, hey, so like I was saying, 70% of all the meteorite falls occur into water. We can sort out how to recover them, reliably. But by what we're looking at right now, then that's 70% more meteorites available for science.
Oh, it's clearing up nicely.
Yeah, all right, so we're looking at it.
Looking at a hole.
Yeah, but this is like a special hole.
Can't tell how deep the special hole is.
I'm trying to figure that out using geometry. Mental geometry.
Knee high, I would guess. Halfway there. It's gonna have to get bigger to get deeper.
Mm-hmm.
It's not strong enough to maintain the wall.
No. Well, I don't know. Clear up enough, we can see how we go. But as soon as I touch it, it's gonna clouds out without touching it.
Yeah, without touching, it's just back to cloudy.
And this is what stopped the excavation last time around. It just kind of auto refogs itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it doesn't want to be found.
So I don't have any particular guidance or preferences for you for using the magnet. It's kind of up to your judgment as to how you feel. You should be able to put the thing in there, and I don't know, be interesting to see if it extracts a large object out of the bottom.
To try now?
Did we figure out like how far away we can get before it's like?
So I've rooted around down in there with the dredge probe, as you can see by the
Oh, he's back.
stuff on the end of it there, and haven't felt anything solid. But it's about the right size for the magnet now. So hoping it would clear up so I could get a true sense of the depth there.
You know what we need to do?
Depth by Braille so far.
We need to mark off the hose with measurements. That way we can see actually how far stuff we're going down, I think. that down. I'm going to do that.
So do you get feedback from the arm of how stiff the surface is, or I mean, is it a physical feedback, some kind of haptic feedback?
The arm has the capability, but we all don't really utilize that function. It's the biggest feedback you get is you have 6 degree of freedom manipulator mounted on a 6 degree of freedom vehicle, and the vehicle's neutrally buoyant or slightly positive. We shoot for about 50 pounds positive in this case, so it obviously doesn't, we don't have to thrust up to stay off the seabed. We have to thrust down to stay on the seabed for visibility. So when you touch something with the manipulator, you feel it with the vehicle, and it moves the vehicle. And so, for example, if I touch the side of the wall too much there, I would see the camera move. And it depends on how hard you're settled onto the seabed, or if you're holding onto something with the other manipulator. But the biggest feedback we get is it changes the attitude of the vehicle when you apply excessive force with a manipulator.
Right.
The newer systems are actually, they're using the manipulator runs off a PID loop, and there's always some error in a PID loop. It's trying to get where you tell it to go, and it has a certain amount of time to get there, and depending on how long the takes to get there is what the correction factor is. So they're actually able to process the errors in the control loop for the manipulator and pump that into the control system for the vehicle to compensate. So when I press on something with the manipulator, the vehicle can counteract with thrust to compensate. Right. So if you're free flying and you're trying to grab something or push something, it's like if you pull your boat up next to the dock, you can push your boat away with your hand, right? Same thing with the, or if you're floating in the pool and you grab the side of the pool, you can pull yourself to the side really easily. It's the same thing with the manipulator in the vehicle.
So on the scale of holes you've dug with an ROV, how does this stand on the excitement scale?
It's a pretty, on the excitement scale or the depth factor?
Oh, either one.
On the depth factor, it's a decent hole, but it's hard to compare this hole with a 250 horsepower vehicle with a 4-inch dredge hose on it. But I think the biggest ones we've done with the research vehicles are the we put in the 32-inch caissons for the underwater observatory, and that's I don't know, what is the diameter of that thing? It's got to be 24 inches, probably 18 to 24 inches. So it's a big fiberglass tube, if you will. We stick it on the seabed and start dredging and sink it in. And inside that, they put the titanium sphere that contains a seismometer. There's a network of them here on the West Coast.
Oh, interesting.
Then we backfill the thing with glass beads, which are really amazing to see pouring glass beads underwater. It's gonna. On the last hitch, we were excavating glass beads out of the hole to recover a couple of the seismometers for maintenance. I'm gonna guess here we're about roughly 24 inches, maybe. So the dredge nozzle's maybe 8 inches, and the handle's probably the same, and we're down about that far again with the manipulator. So 18 to 24 inches, I would, if I had to guess. It's getting to the point now I can't see clearly enough to determine whether you could see there I clogged it. So if I'm barely dredging here as we were in the beginning, it's a Venturi effect. If I bury the nozzle, it doesn't do a lot. It just stops the flow.
So it's got to be a little more precise.
Yeah, it relies on the Venturi effect to create suction. So it's not a direct pump.
So when we sampled this on the previous Nautilus dive, we got, let's say 6 inches deep, maybe a little deeper. And I found dozens of little tiny melted bits of meteorite in there. This material you're digging in, getting further. Basically, as this thing hit the seafloor, it left material that it's adhering to the outside was left behind in the mud. We should be excavating through that stuff, and as this material is getting sucked out past the set of magnets on the exhaust side of this, we should be collecting more little bits of meteorite. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess the question is, it's like a small, a light layer on the top, like over a large spatial area, or if it's localized and a bit deeper.
It's, I think both. So this stuff all came raining down out of the sky. Basically end up with a small number of large objects and a large number of small objects. Yeah. It's like if you were to take like a cinder block and just beat it with a hammer for a few hours, you'd end up with a few.
Lights up a little bit.
You'd get, there'd be a few surviving, maybe fist-sized chunks or so, but most of it would be ground down to powder and fine gravel. The same sort of thing happens with the meteorite coming through the atmosphere. So you lay it deposits a large number of small material over a large area, and then the small number of large ones. So what we should, look at that. Oh, you're changing the lighting.
Yeah. Seeing if it helps anything. So how big is the
we're just turning some of our lights off there to see if we could see in one of our other cameras a little better.
Yeah.
Just see that top corner clears out, but the bottom there is continues to be dusty.
How big is that magnet? I don't know if you're on SPL.
It's about that big.
Oh, right. It's
zoom out a little video.
3 or 4 inches tall, but with the handles, it's like a good 8, 10.
Knew someone was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left the manual down in the shop.
How much does the magnet weigh? Is it heavy?
26 kilograms in water.
All right.
Capable of holding 1,600 pounds. Perpendicular to the magnet if you're on a perfect surface.
So when did we say we might want to start digging around with that, Dr. Freeze?
They didn't take out the block. Suction pump off.
Suction pump off in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Suction pump is off. Let me follow you there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Doctor?
Answering the question about the magnet, I think is we can use it any time. It'll just be a iterative process. Put it in, pull it out, see what's stuck to it, and when we recover a bowling ball, then we're probably done. Put it in, pull out the get a look at what's stuck to it. There's a handle on there for actuating it, and actuate it, release the material from the front, put the magnet back, and then go back to excavating to enlarge the hole and try again. So as to exactly when you want to do that, I would be, from my point of view, do it anytime. It looks to me like the hole is large enough you can get down in there.
All right.
But I will leave that to y'all's judgment as the people who actually.
How are we feeling, ROV?
We're feeling like idiots at the moment because we neglected to take the wedge out that keeps the magnet de-energized. So what we're going to do is get the magnet out and delicately remove the safety wedge and then stow that in the bio box.
We can
and then we'll go for a magnet run.
You can take it out, put it on the porch, and then I can stabilize it with the 5, with the Magnum.
We'll see. Run that porch out a little.
That's as far? That's it.
All the way?
That's all of it.
So you see the little, geez, I wish I had a telestrator. See the little safety block there? Oh, you'll see it in a minute.
The black thing?
Yeah.
Forward of the orange handles? Yeah.
That's we talked about a remove before flight sticker on there.
My shelf's still there.
Okay, porch closed. That's good. Why don't you open it a little so I can.
I didn't do that. It did it on its own.
Yeah, you're good. Now I'm wishing we still had the parallel jaws on there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like,
we decided to go with the intermeshing jaws because it will be easier to pick up a giant meteorite off the seabed with them.
it's a little bit, be careful because might fall out. There you go.
Okay, magnet activated.
All right.
It doesn't seem to go all the way though. Or is that all the way? I think it is.
Sorry about that. That was, we kept that in for safety. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. No, that was deliberate. We'll, all that talk, we'll fix it in post.
We didn't want it to inadvertently affect our compass. Okay, Group Force 9, confirmed.
I feel like we could see the hole a lot better with this light configuration.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
And go ahead and retract the porch a bit.
Copy?
That shell's still there for you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a quick correction here for the.
We lost,
Yeah.
a mid,
What was that?
cam a mid.
So we have there's an offset for our wrist functionality there. It tends to drift because it's a servo valve, so we're all the time correcting it. Seems to do it for the moment.
Dr. Fraser, did you say Betsy's on 3B or 3C?
Okay, video, you can zoom in there a bit for us. That's good, thanks. What lights do we have on?
We have down and the porch. I turned off the forward matrix and the forward LED. Would you like to see how it used to look?
No. Try turning off the porch light.
Oh, that's a little bit better.
I'm gonna see if our slaved wrist will.
Is there more? Never mind.
That will be better. So we're meant to stick this right in the mud, are we?
Yes, please. See what happens.
So you saw the camera move there. That's me pushing hard enough to lift the vehicle off the seabed.
Yep, see it.
So as I lift back up on the arm, the vehicle settles back down into the seabed.
See if there's anything there. Oh, hard to tell. That looks like clay. Oh?
Is that center line what we're looking at?
Huh.
It's interesting.
Not a lot. It's interesting.
So there is magnetic material in the seafloor section. There is material. That's actually less than I expected. Interesting.
Yeah,
but
less than I expected too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's up with the center line there.
Do we want to like put the magnet against the sides?
Do what?
Put the magnet against the sides of the hole.
Oh, could do.
Just see if there's anything that was within that layer in the layers.
I did that, it won't cave in.
That's true. I also feel like it's not open up all the way.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Leela, are we labeling this as a sample? Between the magnetic dredge and the...
Yeah, did you label the first, I'm kind of calling the entire excavation a sample in, yeah, so I don't know if you labeled that already.
No,
I have not submitted this one yet.
Okay. So let me know, I'll drop a target and, well, it'll be 001, right?
This will be 002.
2.
001 is whatever we collect from the exhaust.
Oh, you want to log those as 2 separate?
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, they'll be at the same spot anyway, so I'll just put them down.
Same.
So that center line is not always there.
What's that, Leila?
That squiggly line in the center, is that something we collected or is that always there? I can't really tell.
Yeah, we didn't look at it before we put it in.
Can you zoom in there, Miley?
Yep.
And zoom right in.
All the way?
Yeah.
It's kind of shiny.
I just can't tell if that's part of it or not. Did you guys look at
it? Looks pretty fuzzy, right? Like it's picking up a
Yeah.
lot of little pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like it. They're standing on end.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are metallic.
Right.
There's some small bits there.
It's the it's that center line that's weird.
Wavy bit, yeah, it could be real.
The center line's,
Yeah.
sorry, the center line's not something we picked up.
We did not pick that up there, just
No.
things
Okay,
along
okay.
it. Yeah, okay.
The wavy line is
Part of the magnet, gotcha.
Okay. Whew. Man, I thought we were onto something.
Thought it was just the way the magnetic field was.
Yeah, like just in the magnet, just like how they set it up.
Well, okay, I have pictures of that. I suppose that will be a sample, so.
Yeah. So should we root around in there more, or should we try and release? So the magnet does have, from what we read, it says the off holding force is.
That was a spoonerism.
What's that?
Sorry.
Yeah.
The off folding horse, yes.
Yeah. If you fold your horse in half, it's getting late. Roughly around, there's some force there enough to hold the small particles on. It's between 65 and over 100 pounds, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't think.
Which I don't quite get that because I was able to easily pick the magnet up. So.
Yeah, but that's 60 pounds of force. You can pick up 60 pounds.
Anyways, the options are root around in the hole some more with the magnet energized, or put it in the box and de-energize it, or
do the surface around it.
Would you like us to try, Dr. Freeze, and I'm not sure anything will be able to deposit from this, but would you like us to try that?
Yes, please. Could you root around in the hole around with it a little bit more, and then deposit the sample, and maybe try to actuate the hand there, the little gripper on, or the clamp on the on the magnet and double check that it is actually all the way deployed.
Yeah, I was just
But
about to
Copy that. Yeah.
All
want to
right.
look at it real quick.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Video, if you zoom out, please.
Dude, this crab, man.
There was 2 sets of springs, and the set of springs that came with this were, according to the manual, required 730 pounds or so to deploy or to overcome, and our manipulator makes by the book 800 pounds, so we thought that was a little close. So these springs take about 400 pounds to close the handles. That gave us more in the bank there to might have to set it on the, well, maybe it's going to click. Can you zoom in for us a bit there, please?
Do you want me to go more?
Oh, I can't see anyways. Just trying to get a finger in there and see if it'll pry the handles apart.
Hmm.
I think that's it.
We could get a closer look at where that block came out, the safety.
The what?
Where the safety, where you pull the safety wedge out?
Yeah, they're apart. We've played with it on deck. So.
Yeah, you're familiar.
But I can have a look if you want.
You've seen it. You know it. Good thing there is so much current now.
Yeah.
You went off screen and picked up the other prepared electromagnet
Like
cleaner.
hotspot.
Yeah, I don't think they're apart. Any.
I just don't.
Might be able to move it a hair more, but it.
I'm just trying to recall if when I put them on, if there was like that big of a gap.
Moved all the way out when you stuck it on a 1/8" piece of steel, but one of the things in the book says it needs steel to stick on. The springs assist it. Well, let's put it in the box and I'll actuate them a few times, see what happens.
Want to look at the bottom again? Or?
Yeah, probably should look at the bottom again.
Now, does it modulate or is it all on or all off?
All on or all off.
All right.
Probably want to let it let the current mud it out. We're not getting that all up in the box.
Heavy thing. Okay. It's not going to be in the light, so you're not going to be able to see.
Yeah, you're running out of joint.
Yeah. It's about this.
Zoom in there for us.
Oh, that looks like more. That's gotten wider.
That center line is like getting bigger.
Yeah, that center line has expanded.
Yeah,
Has
so
it
have
not?
the edges, you can see.
Does appear to have expanded.
Yep.
Zoom, you can zoom right in now.
Oh yeah.
But
What is that,
Or is
mud?
it our imagination?
No,
It's,
definitely,
yeah,
for sure bigger.
good,
What is that, mud? Probably not.
That's a 4 a.m. for sure.
Huh.
So a lot of that should be just the magnetite out of the sediments.
Oh, okay.
But if going from the stuff that I got out of the sample we got before, there should be at least some meteoritic material in there too, and it'll become the fun game of sorting through all that stuff one grain at a time and finding it, which that's what I've been doing all along. But
what else would you like us to do here? Do you want to root around some more, or cover it over the surface around there, or what are your thoughts?
I think that's enough for now. I would put the magnet away and try to release that sample from it, and put the magnet aside and go back to excavating the hole.
Roger that. Okay, video, if you zoom out, please. Thanks, Smiley. And Michael, you can push the porch out again.
Pushing the porch out.
Deploy the porch. And if you want to, you can turn on a porch light for us.
Porch in the light.
I'm not going to lie. I was hoping the meteorite would leap out of the seafloor.
Yeah, so are we.
So Robert was saying that when you disengage, it still has some magnetic force.
Right.
Yeah.
Would that be enough to release those parts?
Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I'm just.
So that would.
Don't mind me. Not part of it.
You're saying we can't release that, Rennie?
No, I'm wondering if when you do disengage it, if
would it
those
be enough?
particles
Yeah,
will fall, or if they'll stay on the magnet. Oh, time will tell. I don't know if they need to come off either. Staying on is better.
It's possible I have to put it in the other way.
All right, I just went ahead and logged that one, Rennie.
Okay. Yeah.
I see you already did it.
Yeah.
No, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
1, 2, 1, 1, and 2.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Air Force 9.
Guess we didn't test that on deck.
What was that?
That's a fail on my part. I can't generate enough force to, those dredge is off, right?
Say again?
The dredge is off, right?
Yeah. It is off.
I can't generate enough force to move the handles.
Even with the lighter springs, huh?
What's that?
Even with the lighter springs you were talking about?
Yeah.
Are the two orange handles what are supposed to
They're supposed to
clamp
move,
together?
yeah, clamp together. And at least in this orientation.
From a sample perspective, it's okay if the material stays stuck to the magnet for now. You know, this is all, if we, you know, using the magnet repeatedly, you know, cross-contamination between measurements or uses of the magnet is not an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good to know.
Let's see if I get a good bite on it down here in the bottom of the jaws.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Nice.
Get it.
Nice.
Get it, Dan.
Do you want to look at it now, or?
Yeah.
We're kind of, so our original plan was to store this in the starboard box after the sample so we could close this drawer. In the starboard box, we have 2 scoops, so it should fit in there.
The magnet?
Yeah. It will for sure fit if we take one of the scoops out. So would have to take the magnet out of the drawer to close it all the way.
Right.
So now if we've released the sample and we can't close the drawer, it's possible they can escape.
All right. So I guess we'll take a look at it on the way to starboard box.
Roger. I can get a good grip on it again. It's painful upside down.
But once we put it in there, we'll still be able to get it back out, and
yeah, I should be able to.
Need it more. Okay.
Oh, come on.
You grab it by the other handle to get it out.
What's that?
Do you need to actuate it to get it out, or do you just need a handle?
Well, we're trying to like deactivate the magnet to pull it out, so it's relatively clean.
Pull it out, deactivate it.
I see.
It's kind of like trying to scratch your armpit. Same arm.
Is the 5 function? Do you think the 5 function could close that?
I don't know.
Because it has a flatter beak, I guess. But probably not as... Oh, there you go, you got it. As much as you can get it. Oh yeah, it's just, yeah, you got it. Close the port.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if we are losing the...
Looks like we still have quite a bit on there.
Yeah, seems like a lot still on there.
I don't know if the magnet is capable of deactuating
yeah.
to release those little ferrous.
Or if they're just attached for now.
Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah.
Looks like they're mostly still on there.
Go ahead and zoom in there, video. They do appear to still be on there.
Yeah, I'd say nothing looks like it's come off of there really.
So in that case,
we'll just keep it.
Keep it in the front drawer here.
Yeah, like this.
Does that sound good to you, Dr. Freeze? To keep it in the front drawer without being able to close it, since it seems that most of the material is still attached to the magnet?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right.
We're not worried about
okay,
like
video zoom out, please. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, like if it's open, I don't know how often like magnetic particles are just like going around all over because of the current.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
If you want, I can stick it back in the hole and go one more time. Are you happy with what you got there?
I'm happy with what we have. I think we're gonna have to dig further to get. We're gonna have to dig further.
Yeah, we could dig further than go back in, can't we? A little.
What?
Can you? Are we able to like go dredge more and then put it back in a little?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, close the porch a bit. That's good. Thank you.
What is that coming out of the? That shell?
Okay, Marley, can zoom in there for us, please. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, the sediment here has a bunch of little white pieces of shell in it.
Yeah. I guess it was just too heavy for it to go.
Ready for dredge, 100.
Copy. 100 dredging. Is every way we dredge.
Remember to pass on to the next shift that the dredge is now on valve 6.
Right, because no one else knows.
Yeah. Might make a note of that in the dive log.
Yeah.
What was that?
So we, on the last cruise, we moved the valve to another function, the dredge to another function, a better valve. And it's not labeled as such on the graphical user interface. So it's kind of what we call tribal knowledge. And the oncoming shift is not part of that tribe. They need to be.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim knows. Is that good lighting, or in terms of the porch back off?
That's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I do some
Marley can
photography.
always open the
lighting.
iris a bit.
Is that good? Do you want it brighter?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Cool.
I'm going to start closer to the vehicle here.
So for those of y'all who are watching through the Nautilus Live website. I will give an update of what you're looking at here. So this is a dive to attempt to recover fragments, meteorites from a meteorite fall which occurred into the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary in 2018. This is a fall that was observed on weather radar and a suite of other sensors to include seismometers, and eyewitnesses saw this. It was a large event, produced sonic booms heard up and down the coast, and the Nautilus visited the site a few months after the fall and collected samples along the transect along the seafloor. The samples yielded some small pieces of meteorite, very small, less than a millimeter in size, about 150 of them. And most of those pieces came from this spot on the seafloor. There was a circular pit on the seafloor when we found this the first time. And at the time, we weren't sure whether or not it was something that fell into, a meteorite that fell into the seafloor and left and buried itself in the mud, or if it was just an animal burrow of some sort, or any number of things it could be. When we got the samples back to the laboratory, the material collected out of this little pit yielded about 70% of those 150 little meteorite fragments. So appears that it was large, large-ish, large being about the size of a loaf of bread, or thereabouts. But a good-sized meteorite hit the seafloor here and embedded itself in the seafloor. So we're now back to dig into this and try to retrieve retrieve the meteorite that fell here. It would be really nice to have a large meteorite to work with from a research perspective, because all those 150 little pieces are they're good, they're useful, but they've all been melted, and they have been melted in contact with the Earth's atmosphere, and so there are, they're basically contaminated with the oxygen from the Earth's atmosphere, and among other things, it would be useful to get a piece of this that hasn't been melted and retains the original oxygen that it had in space, because that is a very handy way to classify a meteorite. So we could basically, short version of all that is, if we can get a rock, we can accurately tell what kind of meteorite this was that created this large meteorite fall into the ocean. So what you're watching is excavation to try to dig down to meteorite, which is evidence suggests is buried in the mud here. Exactly how far it is down, we don't know. So it's a attempt to retrieve the meteorite, and let's see how this goes.
There's the exploration vessel Nautilus. We're currently exploring how deep we can go in this hull.
We're going subsea. We're going subterranean.
Ta-ding.
Under the ocean and into the Earth to find a piece of the cosmos. And completed the circle.
Getting a little too deep.